was real. So, welcome to episode 12, Locally to You, with Ant McFarlane. Ant McFarlane is a Dover resident since what year?
1994, when I was born.
1994.
Same year. But I was born in Newcastle and came down like 9 months later.
Coming down straight away. Travelled the world, set up his own business now.
Yeah.
And again, as you know, part of this show is all about local people that have gone out of their way to set up their own kind of businesses and try and inspire other people to do new adventures. Today's location is in Blake's on Castle Street, which is one of our great venues. And I'm going to try and do podcasts in some different places around Dover as well, which might add a bit of a nice element to it. So welcome, Ant.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm stoked. Hyped.
Nice. I only recently found out that you know my brother.
Yeah.
So.
As I said, I haven't seen him in a long time. I think did he go to Astor? I don't know.
I don't know what school my brother went to, actually, because we all went to different schools, so maybe. But yeah, it's just purely through doing this. I keep finding like it's a small world. People know people.
It is, yeah, here for sure. People, yeah. When I'm out and about, I mean, as I said, I'm not really here too much. But when I'm out and about, I always bump into people I haven't seen in years, and from school and stuff like that. Yeah, it's small. Yeah. Small town.
Well, let's get into it. Basically, I know obviously Charlie Spohr, he come on the podcast. Yeah. He actually reached out to me and recommended you.
Sick, that's really cool.
I started scrolling through your social media and I thought, this guy's doing something a little bit different.
Try to.
And just, so obviously you can tell us the journey and the story, but from my understanding, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, it looked like you started off travelling around a bit, skateboarding in places, and now it's turned into a travel company.
Pretty much, yeah. So I've been travelling pretty much now on and off for like 12 years, mainly around Southeast Asia. I just went away and completely fell in love with it, and just wouldn't stop going back. And I kind of said to myself, I need to find a way to be out there longer term. Funny enough, I was out there just before COVID, and at that time I was lucky enough to be offered a kind of part-time online customer service job for a US company. And from there, I was able to just stay there. So I was in Asia throughout COVID, basically dodging country restrictions, bouncing around from place to place. And then really now I spend the majority of my time in the Philippines. Yeah, pretty much. That's where I've come from when I came back here just recently.
Give me just 1 second. I want to check that phone is definitely on airplane mode. I just realised I set one up on airplane mode. I didn't know if I set this one up.
That's all right. Yeah, no, I was looking at the wrong meter as well, so mine's on the right now.
It doesn't matter. You can look wherever. I'm going to change it as I go along. So
that's cool.
About that.
Yeah, so primarily based in the Philippines, but try and dart around sort of as much as possible. I then obviously started filming travel videos. They originally started off as like travel montages, and I kind of always wanted to get into the vlogging type thing, but I was super nervous to do it. I didn't really like being on camera, but took a bit of a punt and did it. And then from there, really just tried to go to really interesting places and just do things that people aren't necessarily doing.
What got you started into travelling? And this is one of the things that I can relate to a little bit as well, as I decided to just disappear. Well, I didn't actually disappear. That's not true. People knew I was going.
Yeah.
I didn't just disappear, but I just decided to go travelling, and then lo and behold, I didn't come back for nearly 10 years. But.
Yeah, literally, yeah. It's I think I just had enough of just the same space over and over again, just going down to skate park skating and just getting a bit tired of the same environment. Not really getting on too well work-wise, and just sort of being a bit fed up, if I'm honest. And I just needed some sort of adventure. Like, I suffered with a lot of anxiety when I was younger, and I kind of wanted to counter that by just being like, I'm just going to go 100 miles an hour and go away. And then since then, I'll be honest, like I've just got like a massive addiction to traveling, to the point of where I can't really ever see myself like not doing it. So obviously obviously we'll talk about our business in a bit, I guess, but like obviously that was like a perfect way to combine what I love with also, you know, making money and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely move on to the business.
Yeah.
Beyond the borders.
Beyond the borders, yeah.
But it's just want to kind of unravel like the story of where you kind of like started off. And how old are you? If you're
31.
31.
31, yeah.
Okay. And I mean, we're talking about a time now, because 30 years ago, say, or a bit more than that, flights were not always easy. Places weren't always easy to get to. People didn't travel as much. Then, and then now you jump on a plane to somewhere that's not obviously your hometown or a concrete jungle, and you're like amazed by the architectures, the structures, the history,
insane. Everything's
culture.
on your doorstep now, isn't it? Like, I mean, like in our parents' age, for instance, like, you know, places were undiscovered, weren't they? Completely undiscovered. But everything is super accessible now, isn't it? And especially with social media, you can learn a lot about destinations before you even know where they are. And then, so I was in the Philippines, and I wanted to kind of like elevate the videos and stuff like that. And I'd heard in the South, there's it used to have quite a lot of problems with militias and things like that. And in the north of the Philippines, they're constantly always like, you know, don't go anywhere near it. Even on the government website in the UK, it's a massive red zone. And I just thought, well, I'm just going to go there and just see what it's about. And it was amazing, like super amazing film videos there. Everyone said that you were pretty crazy to go there, and it just didn't really feel that bad. And that kind of led me to thinking that places probably aren't as bad as what the media like portrays them to be, or people think that they are. And there's always a story beyond the headlines, basically. And I just thought that people sort of deserve a bit of a voice. And that's how we got there, really.
I've seen a few more people like yourself popping up on social media that are going to places that are, classed as danger trips, as I think was the terminology for it nowadays. And it's just because even today, I hear even certain politicians keep saying that it's a dangerous world we live in. I think there's an element of danger anywhere in the world that you go to. I don't feel as if the world is potentially as dangerous as it was before the internet. Before the internet was about, you didn't know what was going on anywhere.
Exactly.
But now there's more exposure. I don't know if tourism and video and vlogging is really going to save anything right away, but that drip of exposure might change minds in some small way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and if you it sounds a bit rebellious, but it's not really supposed to. But if you always listen to the naysayers, you'd never do anything, would you? So it's such an experience to go to some really interesting places that obviously like not many people sort of go to.
And did you get some naysayers?
Yeah, loads of them. Just go through the YouTube comments. There's naysayers everywhere. But,
no, but before you went,
yeah, I mean, like definitely people in the Philippines were like, you shouldn't go down there. You'll get kidnapped.
What about here? Before you left here, though,
there's always like with here. There's always that, because obviously it's far away. It's Southeast Asia or whatever, and you get it obviously with like Central Asia as well, and probably South America. Not that I've ever been, but you always have that fear of the unknown, don't you? But then also I think when you travel sort of so much, it doesn't seem as much of like a big thing anymore.
No,
go on. Go on.
I was just going to say, when I decided to go, my mum was like, but what if something happens to you?
Exactly, yeah.
And then I told my dad, and he was like, off you go.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. It's completely polar opposite opinions, isn't it? Some people think that you're going to get off the plane and die, and some people just want you to just go and live your life. But also a lot of it really is like how you approach things. I mean, you could go to, Bangkok and have a really bad experience, or you could go to some of the roughest places in the world and have the best experience. It depends, obviously, like what mindset you've got in what you have going in. Do you know what I mean? And I just think you just need to just take it openly and you'll be fine.
I feel a lot of people nowadays with a lot of anxiety, depression, wanting to kind of check out, travel could potentially help that. Because I really wasn't happy myself when I decided to leave. And I just thought, I'll pack up, sell up, take as much money as I can and just
bugger
go
off,
and
basically,
go
yeah.
and see what happens.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
rather than being here and sort of being. And I know that's not easy for everyone who's maybe got family, mortgages, and kids and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that. But if
difficult.
you're young and you're single, like I was at the time, no responsibilities, it was a no-brainer. It was like,
Yeah.
just disappear for a bit. And I tell you what, the wealth of like knowledge that I've picked up and
It's insane. It is insane. Yeah, and you can learn.
still miserable, but
Yeah, you and me both. But you can. I mean, you can learn so much from it. Of course, yeah. Like, you know, traveling isn't for everyone. Some people are more than happy just to not do it ever, and that's fair enough. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to like live without it, if I'm honest with you.
But
Yes.
so how many times a year do you disappear? Or is it what kind of schedule is it that you sort of?
Well, I've only been back to the UK for 4 times in the past 7 years, and they're both only a month at a time. COVID obviously made sure that I wasn't able to get back for a decent amount of time.
Oh, cool. So you were stuck.
Yeah,
out
I was stuck
somewhere
out there,
else.
so obviously you weren't able to come back, and I went into a few quarantines in different countries, just trying to not escape regulations, obviously, but to avoid being sort of locked in a bedroom constantly.
Yeah.
So I didn't experience COVID in the UK at all, but still, yeah, like some Asian countries were pretty rough during it.
Oh, so they still suffered
super
quite
harsh,
a bit.
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it really did quite a damage to people's mental health in the
Yeah,
UK.
100%. Yeah,
And I wondered what it was like in some of the other places. I mean, friends from Ibiza where I used to live, even they said, you know, you'd have military police out on the roads and that as well, making sure that people weren't going out. But at least when they were allowed out, they still had hot weather and beaches that they could.
Yeah,
go
no, it
to.
makes it a little bit better than this weather, doesn't it? But yeah, I mean, like I was in Vietnam, and you know, you'd wake up to like a police officer just being like, right now you need to come and get tested, and you'd just be basically dragged to go and get tested.
Was it an inconvenience? So
I think it's obviously for the greater good of like everyone knowing who's got it and who doesn't. But obviously, yeah, I mean, I don't know if the same thing would happen in the UK, would it? Of you know, someone forcing you to get tested. But and then I went to Indonesia, and I was in quarantine in Jakarta for, I think it was like 10 days, something like that, which was actually like quite an interesting experience. I'd never been to Indonesia. It was my first experience there, and being locked in a hotel room and brought food for 10 days was pretty cool, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like, such a terrible experience around the world, really, wasn't it?
Well, this is what I'm thinking, is that you were able to see something from a completely different perspective that we didn't get to see, how other countries managed to manage that kind of thing. And, you know, I suppose the overall question is, did they deal with it well or not? Or, you know, because in this country, we a lot of us feel like it could have been done a whole lot better.
Yeah. I mean, I share the opinion about the UK, but as I said, I wasn't here. But yeah, I mean, I think Asian countries, but the ones I was in anyway, seem to do really well. I can't remember sort of like how many cases or how many people passed away or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it seems to be handled fairly well.
Cool.
But then also at the same time, I think not in terms of going out, but in terms of moving around and stuff was like a lot more strict there. But then also here you couldn't really move around at all, could you? So
No. So which was the first destination you actually travelled to then?
So the first time I ever went away was to Barcelona to skate, and then I literally went to Barcelona to skate.
Oh, Barcelona to skate.
Yeah, to skate. And then after that, just went straight to Thailand and just went there for a month.
What, straight from Barcelona?
Straight from Barcelona, yeah.
What, was that planned, or you just thought?
Yeah, it was planned, yeah. I actually didn't tell my mum I was going to go to Thailand. I just told her I was going to Barcelona. And then just buggered off to Thailand. And then Cambodia and Vietnam from there, and then came back.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought there was some pretty good skating in Barcelona, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the mecca basically for skateboarding.
Oh,
in Europe. Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah, like insane.
Yeah, well, I know being a mountain biker is pretty good in dirt jump spots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you could only assume skateboarding is just up there as well.
Yeah,
you know? So I bet you've got plenty of urban spots as well, no?
Yeah, I mean, the whole city is basically like, it's just like a concrete paradise. So it's perfect for skateboarding and BMXing as well.
But you skateboarded in, from what I could see, quite a few of those countries.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really skate that much anymore, if I'm honest. Just, well, for one, I've put on way too much timber, and two, it just don't really have a time. I don't really do very well with skating in sort of 35-degree heat either. It's a nightmare. But yeah, I've tried to at least try and skate in most countries. Like I skated a lot in Indonesia, Thailand, obviously, Japan as well.
Mm. Did you
Um,
skateboard in Korea?
in North Korea, no, I didn't. I didn't
No.
skate there.
Just from one of the pictures I could, or was it a short video? I can't remember. It looked like you were there. And I just wondered, if they'd seen
No.
skateboarding, if that looked something like a sport they maybe didn't do over there.
Yeah, they definitely don't do it there. They do have a skate park, but obviously to go there, you'd have to sort of get permission and stuff like that. You wouldn't just be able to just jump out of the van and go there. But I have my skateboard with me in North Korea, to be fair. But yeah, no opportunity to use it.
Speaking of van or even buses, what's YGMB?
Oh,
I
YGMB.
found a little skate page, but I couldn't.
Did you? Yeah. So that was literally back in the day. We just started like just a little group thing where we would just skate all the time and just film and try and make loads of videos. I think the videos have gone off of YouTube now, but yeah, just like a little skateboarding crew from Dover, basically. When more people used to be about skateboarding. But
It's still on your profile in the top.
I know, yeah,
bio,
I know,
actually.
but sometimes you just like I'd leave it in there just like not to give up on it. But
It's part of history.
it
I
is, yeah,
suppose.
and it was a big part of my life. I mean, skateboarding's always been a big part of my life. I owe like a lot to it. It really brought me out of my comfort zone, and I think it's an amazing thing that people should get into. All wheeled sports, not just skateboarding, obviously, but yeah, definitely we'll leave that YGMB in there.
When you were travelling with your skateboard, do you know right on the top of your head how many countries you went to?
I don't know. Maybe only maybe like 30, something like that. I think maybe.
Only 30.
Oh no, I was going to say only, then I realised that
Yeah,
it's not the right word to say.
It's
But
like more countries than most people ever get to go to.
yeah.
But even still, in those 30 countries, did you find the skateboarding community was the same everywhere you went?
No, like some, especially because I've been going away for such a long time, especially since skateboarding went into the Olympics. Asian countries, well, Southeast Asian countries, their skateboarding is just like gone through the roof. Like they're insane, absolutely insane. When I first went there, when I first went to like Vietnam, for instance, the skateboarding was pretty unheard of. But now, yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
So it's growing. It is definitely growing. People have more access to it. There's a lot more parks and stuff like that.
There was, because obviously at one point we touched on the fact you went to Afghanistan, but I remember there was not so long ago a young girl who was breaking down barriers at one point by being like an Afghani skateboarder.
Really?
I don't know if you ever saw that come up.
Maybe, I don't know. There was skateboarding in
I think that
Afghanistan.
might have been just
before the government changed. Yeah,
changed. Yeah.
there was a lot of skate parks there before, but yeah, not obviously anymore.
No.
But the skate parks are there. But I think, I mean, I've been trying to get hold of people to try and get into them, or get into one specifically. But yeah, it's difficult.
How did you fund your first trip and then your the next trips?
Yeah, just doing bits and bobs just online, kind of like some like live chat jobs, customer service jobs, and that's really still kind of like how I fund it. Just picking up bits of work online, as much as possible. Make a tiny bit of money from the YouTube, but nothing really substantial.
I noticed you've monetized that, obviously. Yeah, I had to watch about 15 ads before I could watch it.
I do pile them on like every 20 seconds, but
but it's a good way. If you're going to put the effort into making something, it's always nice to get kicked back one way or another.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's nice. I mean, you know, like even if you only earn like, you know, £100 a month or £50 a month, at least it pays for a couple of nights in a hotel, doesn't it? So it's always nice to get something back.
So it is remote working.
Remote, yeah, completely remote for a US company. US companies, just basically picking up bits of customer service where I can.
Yeah.
It's got a lot harder to do remote work. Obviously, COVID helped remote work a lot, to be honest. But I think a lot of companies now want people to go back into the office. So it's getting more difficult. But
I've never been able to find out how to become a remote worker that can go and live in Bali or
it's
something.
super hard. It's super hard.
that.
Well, I mean, a lot of people over there, especially in Bali, obviously, there's like loads of people that do it. But, you know, most of them do obviously like digital marketing. That's a big one. Like user-generated content. I don't even really know what that is. Coding, obviously. web development, they're all big ones. Customer service is hard though, because obviously you can hire people here that can do it, can't you? Super easy.
But I recently saw a clip, Gary's Economics at all by any
I
chance?
think so.
Yeah, Gary Stevenson. He was in a bit of a debate with someone back about the Philippines, actually, that somebody was trying to argue that you're getting a load more remote workers that are bringing sort of a bit more money into the place, but unfortunately the lifestyle for a lot of Filipinos is not always sort of necessarily getting better. But I always wonder that eventually the more that I don't want to say Westerners or whatever, or I don't know, other types of workers that are generating cash and the lifestyles they live in, the things that they're interested in, trickles down eventually possibly into governments using creative people within their factions within governments that help create better change and leniencies between like a community as a whole, which is I'd say a dream world to live in. But sometimes I do think that the more other countries can accommodate sort of alternative everythings, it leads to more creativities and well, I don't know what.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, the only problem is with kind of like the digital nomad type thing and a lot of foreign workers, especially in places like Bali, is it simply just drives up the price of everything because people know they can charge more. Western restaurants open, Western hotels open. Use Western loosely, obviously, but foreign, I guess. And then, of course, it then pushes all the locals out, so they then can't afford to live in these places. And obviously trying to find sort of like a happy medium of where you want the foreign workers because they bring in loads of money, while also benefiting local people is super difficult. But then it depends how it's sort of taxed and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of countries obviously don't tax digital nomads. I mean, I'm like quite a big believer in digital nomad visas for countries, but not really anywhere has brought them in. And that would obviously be a way for the government to get money from digital nomads, but then obviously you then rely on the government spending it in the way that it should be spent.
Some of these places, I think, could benefit from not having like uncapped capitalism, because that is the problem. If you know you can go in and squeeze as much profit out of something and everyone else is like your worker or your slave or whatever, it's almost like there needs to be some element of philanthropy or socialism, maybe in some but not, I don't disagree with capitalism, but it's not so good when it comes to the greed element, like you said,
totally.
Building these expensive houses, charging the highest prices, then
Totally.
but like I lived on the island of Ibiza. Prices of properties went through the roof, and a lot of the workers that used to go there for the summer tourism didn't have many options for accommodation. So friends of mine were saying about how some places couldn't open or be fully open because there wasn't any staff for the summertime, and this is because the landowners in that place have gone cha-ching.
Yeah, and cashed in it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, and it does seem to be like that throughout sort of Southeast Asia as well. I mean, even places I went to 10 years ago, that used to have like Paradise Islands, and now as you're getting off the ferry nowadays, like, there's a massive McDonald's sign or something like that, and it's like, nice. Like,
they are everywhere. I think there was some kind of video that was made about how McDonald's brought Coca-Cola to the whole world, or maybe it was just Coca-Cola. No, Coca-Cola's pretty much sold across the whole planet.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
So that's not McDonald's, but same.
McDonald's pretty much is as well, probably as well. So.
They're hand in hand. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So. Yeah. Philippines. That's one. Like, I didn't know actually until you said that was a sort of red zone. We called it.
Yeah. So the southernmost big island is called Mindanao, and the western side of Mindanao is classed as a red zone. It's classed as incredibly dangerous. There was an entire city there called Marawi, which was besieged by ISIS type groups.
You did a quite good video. I watched that.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So obviously you're told like not to go there, but we went there with like a really nice guide and had a really good time. Not a good time, but a thoughtful time, and learned a lot. And I 100% suggest people go there and discover sort of like a different sides of the Philippines, which isn't just sort of beaches and paradises and stuff like that. And then I moved further through Mindanao and went to an island called Sulu. And Sulu used to be very dangerous, but it's not so much anymore. Philippines has gone through like a massive effort of trying to get rid of these groups, but sometimes they come back. But yeah, people around the rest of the Philippines are definitely like quite fearful of going down there.
Well, I mean, this goes into your business a little bit and how, again, I was saying wasn't so long ago that we had flights, you know, the cheap holiday flights came and there was more long haul flights came, and where our high streets sort of changing for our sort of local people shopping, tourism, which I see more like cafes, restaurants and all that kind of stuff, sort of tourism travel is definitely being recognised as something to cash in on in all kinds of countries. Yeah. Hence, like I've seen Afghanistan popping up on several occasions where they're trying to get back onto the tourism board. And so my thought, hopefully, is where you do have certain countries which are divided up with different factions, militants, guerrilla armies, whatever, it's because there wasn't the exposure there before. And you'll be able to tell us better than others, but hopefully. When you are, hopefully, depends how much you might have been sucked into the propaganda. But it's been commented that whilst you can go to places like North Korea and Afghanistan, they say it's a little bit tailored to you to make sure you're not seeing the full behind the scenes of what it's really like for like rural communities.
Yeah, totally,
example.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like North Korea and Afghanistan are completely different in terms of that. But in North Korea, of course, like the tours are very structured and strict and sort of government sanctioned, and you obviously go to the places that they want you to go to. If you do to do a private tour, you do have more freedoms in terms of, you know, you can pick and choose kind of where you go. There are suggestions, obviously, about where you can go and what you can see, but naturally with them, they want to show off the best of the country. There are places that obviously you can't go. I can't remember where they are off the top of my head, but there are places that you can't go. But I mean, really quickly, the borders are closed anyway to anyone else other than Russians. So who knows what it's going to be like when it opens back up. But generally, yeah, like North Korea is very structured in terms of tourism and what you do and what you see.
I read you were in contact and you never know when it might open, but they might do at any moment's notice.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people who message me about North Korea who want to go, I think they think that I know more than what I say on like the website or something like that. But like, you genuinely don't know anything. They don't hint. They don't say anything. Like they really are. They're obviously super positive that it's going to happen at some point, but there's no hinting about when it's gonna open.
Any thoughts on why they closed again?
I mean, obviously it's shut because of COVID to begin with. It reopened very briefly to Western tourists, foreign tourists other than Russians, in a specific city called Rason, area called Rason. I don't really know what the reason for that was. It was super sudden. And then it closed again, I think it was 6 weeks later. They have obviously just allowed the Pyongyang Marathon to start. That was the one I went to in April.
Which is how long? I saw the picture of that. Yeah, how long is that?
What, the marathon?
Yeah.
I think it's like 40-something kilometres, something like that.
Oh, so it's more or less the same.
Yeah, so it's the same. I mean, I only did 10K and I walked most of it, to be fair, but I only did one training day down the beach. But
how many non-Koreans are there doing it?
200.
Yeah,
200. Yeah, and then of course a lot of Koreans. And then they're doing it again this year, and I think there's a lot more foreigners going this time. I don't know the exact number. We're not like involved in it, but why they're allowing that to happen, I don't know. Maybe to generate some income, or maybe to try and get people to come in. It's obviously handled by different branches of different parts of the government and stuff like that. So who really knows what's going on? But with Russians obviously going in, I mean they've just, I don't know if you saw the new resort that they built. It's like a huge complex of like massive hotels on a beach in a place called Wonsan, and it only opened about, I can't remember. It was the year just gone, and of course there's no tourists to go to it, so I don't know when they're going to try and recoup that investment. But
correct me if I'm wrong again, but they had the Olympics, didn't they? Or was that?
South Korea had the Olympics, I think, didn't it? Yeah. Not North Korea. Seoul, yeah.
Seoul.
Yeah. Not North Korea though. Yeah, it's.
I wasn't sure because I just all I remember in the back of my head is I thought there was a little bit of backlash or hang up about going to the Olympics there. I thought there was a bit of kickback from it.
I can't remember. I think
be
it might have been something about the Winter Olympics, but I can't quite remember what it was. So yeah, I don't know when it's going to open, honestly.
Yeah, and looking at some of the videos in North Korea, the first video I watched, again, I'd keep an open mind to everything as much as I can. First video I watched, he was shooting scenes, and I was like, there's hardly anyone there. Size of them roads, size of them streets. And then as you get more into your video, you start showing sort of like centre places. And actually, there's quite a lot of people there. You know, the buses are full. So you can understand maybe sometimes why people get a little bit like because there was. Did you ever watch that the comedy movie with what's his name?
Seth Rogen and James Franco. Yeah,
it was quite, and they were making fun out of the fact that everything was fake, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but it's a misconception that not everything's fake, but maybe it is. You're guided as a tourist.
Well, I mean, there definitely is like this thing where everyone does, not everyone, but there's a massive amount of people that do think it's fake, and you obviously get the whole like paid actor thing, but it just doesn't make sense for an entire city to just perform for 200 tourists. It just doesn't make sense. They don't care that much, otherwise there'd be tourists everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
What would be worth the inconvenience?
Yeah,
really, I suppose.
They are obviously super sensitive about what you see, and they do want to show you, as I said, like the best things that they've got, like the monuments and the history and different things.
Their military arms when they do big parades.
Well, yeah. But no, it's not. It's definitely not fake.
No, I mean it looked nice and clean.
It's very
looks
clean,
smart. But then again, that's what they say is you see these city centres, but you don't see sort of rural areas and things like that. But you know, it's. I mean, if you've been to Dubai as well.
I have been to Dubai, yeah, literally when I was the first time to get my visa for Afghanistan.
I mean, but that's more of an even more open place where apparently, you know, you can go as a foreigner and be there and what have you. Everything's clean, crime's low, and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes some of the more sort of rural,
locally type areas,
don't get the same sort
of
privileges.
Treatment. Yeah,
you know? So it happens everywhere. And so people pick on places like Korea. So well, yeah, there are some other countries which are just doing it right in front of the tourists.
Exactly. The only thing with North Korea is simply the fact that they don't answer back. Like they don't push out. They don't push out anything. They don't push out any media other than the things that are obviously very state run. So you don't have like Korean vloggers running around filming videos about what the country's like. So go on. Yes, it's just very one sided about you know how they can. There's no you can obviously say how everyone's an unpaid actor or a paid actor or whatever, and it's already fake. But there's nothing coming out from them to obviously discourage people from thinking that. And unfortunately, a lot of like vloggers that go there do sensationalize it quite a lot. So they'll go into hotel rooms and they'll be like looking behind radios to see if it's like to see if it's being like their room's bugged or whatever, and it's just not.
What did you feel that there was also when you say about the no talking back thing? Was that a similar thing in Japan as well? Because they're quite strict and obedient. Does that sound a bit condescending? You're obedient.
But I mean, like I mainly mean sort of like media wise. In terms of, I mean, people know what Japan is like for tourism really anyway without going there because it's online.
It's on my list to go to.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Apparently they're crying out for people to move over there because of their population
I saw that.
decline.
Yeah,
I was
I
thinking,
did see
sign me
that.
up.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know. I saw like posts that they were selling like houses in the countryside for like ridiculously cheap because everyone's moving to the cities and they have an aging population. So, Japan's really cool.
Yeah, I still couldn't work out what a yati was. Is that the name of the market itself? Is it yati?
Oh, yatai. The
Yatta
yatai.
market.
Yeah. So I there's
thought he was looking for a food dish at first.
yeah. So the yatai stalls there. They're in a city called Fukuoka, and it's basically at night time. The whole city, but not the whole city, but the majority of the city, basically they just set up these stalls, and there's loads of really interesting videos online about them. And I believe it's from after World War II when they had to ration and stuff like that. They brought out these stalls where people would just go and eat. But now they're around. But they are looking to get rid of them, unfortunately, which is a bit of a wasted bit of culture. But
Why?
I think probably to clean up the city, maybe. It causes a lot of people to be getting drunk into the early hours of the morning.
So Magaluf for Japan. Japan
That
is that what you're
saying? I don't know if it's that extreme, but yeah. Yes, they're looking to try and get rid of them, but I think they've been trying to do it for a while, and they haven't gone yet. But yeah, if you can get there, it's sick.
And who's the other person in those videos with you as well?
That was my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend, yeah. So we first went away 7 years ago, and obviously broke up, I think it was about 2 years ago, and then I just carried it on by myself, basically.
She's not gone off and started her own channel.
Not as far as I'm aware. Not as far as I'm aware, no.
When I put your name, because I also use a little bit of ChatGPT sometimes.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So I try and look for as much information as possible. Sometimes I'll run someone's name through ChatGPT and see what that comes out with as well, which was funny because one of the guests we had, I ended up coming out with something and they were like, how did you find that out? I was like, actually,
oh, God, what we found.
ChatGPT that did that. No, it said that you're a TV presenter, though. That's what it come up with.
What?
But I couldn't find anything that was sort of TV related.
Nah, definitely not.
It said TV presenter.
No, the only time I've ever been on TV was GB News about North Korea, and it was awful. But
oh, really?
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm definitely not a TV
Well,
presenter.
the interview didn't go well.
I think obviously they had like a bit of a narrative that they wanted to go with, and I wasn't kind of biting into it, and I was shortly cut off. So
yeah,
that was my moment of fame.
Oh, you shortly cut off. Well, you
very
wasn't,
short.
you
Yeah,
wasn't saying what they wanted you to
yeah,
say.
basically, yeah, I think it went like that. Yeah, I was bricking it for that, to be fair. But
how was you doing that then? Was you doing it from there or?
No, so I was on. I wasn't in North Korea. But yeah, I was back in the Philippines, I think, and they just messaged me and just said, "Do you want to talk?" I mean, the marathon, when everyone came out and started posting up videos about it, because obviously no Western-ish tourists have been in there for such a long time. Kind of like the international media just went nuts. And yeah, like the Sun and Daily Mail and Kent Online and places like that were all trying to.
Well, this is why people that do this, like you, are valuable people. Nowadays, we're finding more and more with the younger generation. Like you can find online that news channel statistics are dropping.
Yeah.
Not many people watching terrestrial TV anymore. They're not following necessarily so much the mainstream media. The younger generation now, they're following influencers, vloggers, the people that are doing stuff like yourself. And it's almost like you've said now on a couple of times, you know, it's these narratives keep coming out, but until you go and look,
yeah,
you go and look, but everyone keeps getting put off from going and looking.
Exactly.
So you just need to just go out there and have a look for yourself, and until we're all just told we're not allowed to leave our countries anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
No,
There's too much money in aviation.
But yeah, you know, you're right, and I think that. I mean, I not me specifically, because I'm not big on YouTube or anything like that. But I do think that kind of like vloggers and stuff like that, when they are obviously truthful about what they're seeing and they don't sensationalize it, I do believe that they are sort of like modern day journalists, and it's obviously what more younger generations can tune into a lot easier. I mean, of course, because I do it and I'm in do a lot of traveling. I mean, my Instagram is just constantly travel stuff, but it's good because you get such an insight into places that you wouldn't even think about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think being the biggest one out there or not is always necessarily important. Even if you get one person to see something and then they talk about it, it turns into a conversation somewhere else in another location. That always helps. And I don't know if it was the right one now. I think it was one of your videos that you'd uploaded about 8 days. Have you uploaded a video recently?
No, I don't think so.
No, but it wasn't you then. But some of your videos definitely got quite a few views.
Yeah, some of them have done well. North Korea ones did well. The Afghanistan ones did well. Yeah, it's just a bit hit or miss, really. Just I don't really put too much effort, like into too much thought into the views they're gonna get. As long as I'm happy with it and get a lot of like the main thing I'm happy with, especially with like when I came out of North Korea and those videos, I was just super happy that people were commenting just saying that like, oh, feels like a genuine experience. You know what I mean? And I was really happy with that because I didn't want to. Obviously you hear a lot about North Korea and you try to go in there without any kind of sort of judgment and stuff like that, but it's what you've heard is still in your head, so you're constantly trying to like battle it, and it is really what you make it. If you want to believe everything that happens in front of you, you can believe it, and if you want to think you're just being spun a lie, you're going to believe that as well. So
yeah. Oh, I lost my train of thought for a second then. What was I going to say?
Talking about YouTube videos, I think.
No, it was about your business in general. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I've got so many questions trying to go through my head at the same time, because when you say stuff, sometimes I change the question that I'm thinking of, or what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, sometimes I'll get a bit blank like that. It was more about the fact that you've still been building this profile, obviously, for a number of years anyway. So you make a very good showcase for what you've been doing. So even if you're not getting like the hits and the views that you have now, the brand that you are building, you know, it will reach that point probably. Well, hopefully for you, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
It'll kick off, and then people will actually be able to go, well, oh, actually, this isn't just some new thing. This guy's been doing it for years, which experience counts if you've been visiting these places
for a number of yeah. I mean, I'm obviously with starting the business and stuff like that. I'm lucky really that I did make the videos and obviously put so much on my personal Instagram and stuff, because obviously people can see it. It's not just a random company that has just come out of nowhere. Obviously it's linked to someone that's already doing these things anyway. Just gives it a bit more credibility, doesn't it? Especially when you're traveling to, you know, sensitive places.
Have you done any tours yet? I saw on your Instagram you had like a Black Fridays deal.
Yeah. So I mean, we only started in the website went live in August.
You say we?
Me. But I said, yeah, it's funny enough, I was talking to my mum about this and she called me out on the we, but when it's a company, it just sounds better with we, doesn't it? But I guess so I launched the website in August, and yeah, I mean, like, after, I knew it was going to be a bit rough leading up to Christmas because obviously people are saving money, but this year really is the year to kind of hit the ground running. But yeah, we do have quite a lot of private tours booked in for Afghanistan this year. And obviously we have the group tour in November as well, which a couple of people are on. We have Bhutan as well in October. So
I looked through some of your prices of the tours. They're not cheap.
They're not cheap, no.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
But, you know, these places that you're going to, they're just, as you advertise, these are places that people just don't normally go to.
Yeah.
So, you know, there is that element, which I imagine some people find exciting because they're going to places that obviously not a lot of people go to. And I also saw that you do include quite a fair bit.
We try to include everything if we can. Obviously, other than international flights and Afghanistan specifically, we try to include everything. Basically, we just can't include international flights because obviously it depends where you're coming from. We can't include visas because it depends where you get it. But I mean, we include obviously, you know, all the things that you need security-wise and permits, and obviously a guide, a driver. Group tours will have someone from Beyond the Borders going as well. We include local clothing, like a set of local clothing. You don't have to wear it, you don't even have to get it, but it just shows a bit more respect when you're traveling around Afghanistan. And all meals as well, accommodation obviously. So we try and include absolutely everything because you already have the stress of going to a country. I mean, you might not be stressed at all, but I mean, I was. So I think taking enough of that off of someone is probably the best thing. And that was the main thing. And our partner / local guides in Afghanistan are like amazing. They know exactly what they're doing. They're completely tuned into everything that's going on in the country. Where there may be any issues, they can handle everything to do with the government. They're on it, like really, really on it.
Guide is always better It definitely is.
Yeah.
I can say that because you can go anywhere and do your research, and you might be able to make yourself quite a nice trip. You might not find all the best places. I remember when I was guiding a bunch on one of my holidays, and we just so happened to come across these other two people in the woods. And we just started chatting to them, and they were like, "Wow, we've come over here self-guided, and we're not really finding everything." And I was like, "Right, we'll take it on a day trip tomorrow. Do it for free.
Yeah.
And if you like it, you pay. Don't." They came back year after year because the guide knew the best places to go,
Of
best
course,
places to hit.
There's no one better than a local. Do you know what I mean?
You
Like, it's
know,
just not possible.
Had a better interaction with people. So, yeah, all I say when you're going to a place like, the places that you're offering that are still uncharted terrain for a lot of people. I'd imagine there's not a lot of TripAdvisor for Afghanistan, is there?
There is actually a decent amount of it, but
Is
of course, like, it's not like going to Tenerife or something. Yeah, I mean, of course, this is, I might sound biased, but of course, like 100% for Afghanistan, you should go have a guide. There's a lot of things that need handling in the country, and there's a lot of things that need handling before you even get there. I mean, even to get your visa, you need an invitation letter from a company that's in Afghanistan. Some companies will do it without guiding you, which, is what it is. But then even to move from province to province and city to city in Afghanistan, you need permits from that city. And each checkpoint that you go through, and you go through a lot of checkpoints in Afghanistan, each checkpoint will be radioing on to the next one to say, these foreigners are coming, basically. So there's a lot that goes into it. So doing it by yourself would just be a bit of a nightmare.
I would assume as well now with Afghanistan trying to get onto the tourism board that they are possibly instructed to be a little bit nicer to the tourists.
100%, yeah. I mean, there's obviously the typical thing that comes around with Afghanistan where it's like, you're going to get into a lot of danger with the government or whatever like that. But I think your wellness is definitely in their best interest. They're not going to want any headlines of anything going wrong. And they are very security minded. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, yeah, ideally, nothing's going to go wrong.
No, we know, and again, we could talk about this sort of stuff for ages, but we know obviously it's a troubled country with a lot of oppression in places. But again, I know that it seems like they've thought possibly, let's let some outsiders in so it doesn't look so bad. But I feel like over time, again, like I was saying before, eventually when they start to allow sort of more creatives within their different factions within their governments, and people become sort of more indispensable because they're actually creating the facilities and the flow for tourism, that it all sort of trickles down eventually at some point. I don't think it's going to fix everything, but
totally.
Drip feeding a little bit of something different into a place might actually make changes.
Yeah, and there are issues obviously in Afghanistan.
I did a bit of research. It did work apparently in Vietnam, China, and some of the Eastern European countries. A few decades ago.
Bringing in tourism?
Yeah, they just sort of brought in the tourism.
Yeah.
That tourism slowly eeped into like the different, because in any kind of government you'll have different factions. You'll have ideologists and pragmatists. Creative people that are people that are just there for security and because it's like it's better to be on this side than on the other side. And then eventually those people will become indispensable as well. Yeah. So yeah, I found that out a little bit.
That's interesting for sure.
Worked. Not everywhere.
No, I mean
these are difficult countries to do it.
I mean, obviously there are issues in Afghanistan. The country in its current form is obviously super young. I mean, it's only 2021 that obviously the government changed, and obviously things will of course hopefully get better as hopefully they do. But I do think with tourism it's important that you hear the people rather than governments. I don't think you travel to countries or avoid traveling to countries necessarily because of the governments, because you go there to learn about the people, the culture, history, and then you can form your own opinion from there.
Some of the architecture, I was looking for your Afghan photographs actually, just even some of the architecture.
It's incredible.
It's absolutely amazing.
It's incredible, yeah. It's a very, very, very beautiful country, and it has like thousands of years of history everywhere, like absolutely everywhere. Different empires and different dynasties and different, you know, from Genghis Khan to Alexander the Great and Buddhism before Islam. There's so much going on there.
We'll change the country in a minute because obviously you keep
Yeah,
talking
no,
about
yeah,
Afghanistan,
of course.
Korea. But also one of your videos I saw you spoke about how you're interested in World War I, World War II history as well.
Yeah. So my granddad was quite big in World War II. He was a major and he has a road named after him in France. I'm massively into. I would say I'm like into conflict, but I'm not. I'm interested, obviously, in
The history
wars and world wars and what causes them, and you know.
I think a lot of people are unaware as to the fact that the Commonwealth gravestones that we have even in the UK and France, a lot of them Afghanistan soldiers. Oh, I don't know if there's a lot in the UK, but there's definitely a lot in sort of France, Belgium,
Yeah. I would imagine so. Yeah.
area, and they were a part of that whole thing as well. You know, I don't think a lot of people sort of realise. They just think it was the French and maybe the Polish.
Yeah.
Fighting with the English, and the Americans turned up at the last minute.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of nationalities obviously involved, which definitely don't get spoken about enough. But
you were scuba diving what looked like on a shipwreck with a gun on as well. What was that? Where was that?
Yeah, so funny enough with World War II, in obviously the Philippines was colonized by the Spanish for 300 years. Then the Americans took it over from the Spanish, and then the Japanese took it over from the Americans. And in a place called Palawan, Coron in Palawan, that's where the Japanese used to keep their fleet. And the US bombed it, and a lot of ships ended up sinking. So everywhere there's insane World War II Japanese shipwrecks. So I tried to get in as many of them as possible, really.
So let's quiz me now. See how much I paid attention. I saw on your YouTube channel you went to Australia,
Yeah.
Nepal.
Yeah. Not Nepal yet. No. Not Nepal yet.
Bhutan.
No. 2 weeks.
North Korea, Afghanistan, Philippines, Thailand.
Yeah.
And that's all I got, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I made many videos in sort of like Cambodia. I can't remember. But yeah, and then Vietnam and Indonesia.
I did get a chance to scroll through all
Yeah,
of them.
no, of course, yeah. But
trying to name as many
Yeah,
as I could. But they're not all listed on your website, though, are they? Like Australia's, is that part of the Beyond the Borders?
No, it's not.
It's
no.
not really an extreme place to go, unless you go in the desert, maybe.
Well, I mean, it would be really cool. I mean, I do definitely want to add so many more places. But there's loads of places that I talk to all the time, especially sort of like Mongolia. I'd love to get Tibet. Obviously, Iran was going to be one as well. Iraq. But it's just difficult. I mean, as I said, it was only launched in August, and it's just me doing absolutely everything. So,
can I help? I'll do the mountain bike rides.
Yeah, where do you want to go?
any of those places. I really wish because I knew of companies that were doing rides in like Morocco. They weren't based in Morocco, but you get out there, everyone meet up, and then they do like bike rides, sort of around Morocco. And I'm sure there's other places as well that are doing it. And then when I saw your thing pop up, I was thinking, how cool! Because I am a qualified mountain leader for mountain biking.
That's really cool.
Yeah, first aid qualifications and all that kind of stuff. And that was technically my profession. And then when I saw your thing pop up, I thought I could do a couple of things here and there.
Oh, definitely, 100%. I mean, like at the same time, like I am learning things all the time. I mean, as I said, it's a new company. I mean, I only found out when I was speaking to a guide in Afghanistan a month or so ago. They have paragliding there, and I didn't even realise that. So maybe there is some sort of mountain biking there. I don't know. I'll look into it and let you know. But
Afghanistan looked quite mountainous.
It is super mountainous. Yeah,
the scenery looked absolutely. I never really paid attention to it before. And when you say Afghanistan, I think probably fairly barren, dusty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and it's actually not really.
Especially, of course, that when you look at kind of photos from sort of the war and stuff like that, it does look very dry and stuff like that. But a lot of that was in sort of Helmand and places like that where it is very dry. But most of it is it's very, I mean, a lot of the country is very, very dry, but then in the valleys where there's a lot of water, it's very sort of lush. So it's quite like a contrast of, you have super green, thin bits of land, and then you have obviously the mountains, and then you have the snow caps as well.
So what's roughly, it'd probably be hard to do it for each country. What sort of flight costs? Could you do it on a cheap level, or are they sort of up there in the thousands?
Yeah, I mean,
Say thousands, sorry, yeah, £800.
yeah, I mean, flights to Bhutan, for instance, where I'm going in 2 weeks, it cost me. I mean, it's only 2 hours on the plane or 3 hours on the plane from Bangkok, and that cost me £900 return from Bangkok to Bhutan.
Wow.
But it's also one of the most dangerous airports in the world for pilots to land in. I guess that's their justification. But
why? What's it look like? Because
you have to go like across mountains and then basically do like a bit of a dive.
Oh, okay. Well, that was fun.
Well, yeah, I can't wait to do it, to be honest. But
oh, you haven't?
I haven't been there yet. No, I haven't been there yet. So hopefully
there's the side of the runway scattered with bloody failed attempts.
No, could you imagine? Yeah.
Well, some I've seen.
That's in Indonesia, I think. Yeah, there's a. It's like a mountain airport or something, isn't it? And there's loads of smashed up planes.
Oh, I haven't seen that, but I've definitely seen some that are like on the top end of a mountain, and they kind of the runway goes up to slow them down, and they turn around and it goes down the hill to sort of take
kick off the end of it. Yeah.
It was quite interesting. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're still looking at fairly pricey prices for flights, but I'm pretty sure if you tried to use Skyscanner or something, you could probably hop here and you hop there. What sort of equipment would you recommend people bring with them?
Well, I mean, obviously it depends.
Not Crocs, you know.
Well, you could do if you want.
Yeah. Is it a lot of trekking, or is it more?
You can do a lot of trekking. There's a place in Afghanistan called the Wakhan Corridor, which is a lot of trekking.
But with Beyond Borders.
Yeah, we can organise those trips, but we don't have a group tour going on those trips at the moment. We'll do in the future. But that's like, you can do sort of like 21 days of pretty much just insanely remote trekking adventures and staying with nomads and staying in tents and stuff like that. So of course, then you would need sort of hiking gear and all that type of stuff.
So for a basic, it's not a basic holiday, is it? But for a trip with you, like what would be the format and equipment that you'd sort of want to bring? Because I saw they were for a week at a time.
Some of them, yeah. So Afghanistan, the Afghanistan tour in November is 8 days, and it can be extended to 13. But yeah, anything, it's not super extreme. Like, we do definitely climb up some pretty wild things, but it's not. You don't need like really super hiking gear as long as you're relatively fit. I mean, I'm not fit and I'm able to do it. If you obviously want to do more extreme treks and hikes, you can. But the group tours are quite mellow. So yeah, just.
But you're still visiting places that generally are a bit off the beaten track in some places.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of sun cream, obviously, if you're going in when it's hot. But but yeah, I mean, I have a sort of like a massive. We have like a massive kind of safety brochure thing that we send out to people to make sure that they've got everything, and it's updated all the time with anything that kind of changes.
Is it a holiday for a sort of a beginner traveller, or do you need to be a bit of a seasoned traveller to come along?
I would probably say you need to be a bit seasoned, yeah. Just because it can be quite intense. You know, knowing what's going on. Obviously, you will meet the Taliban, which is obviously like a nerve-wracking thing. But
did you shoot an AK-47?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
So you was holding one, though.
Yeah, I did get to hold one. Yeah. Which is completely optional. You don't have to hold one, but I did kind of want to hold one. But yeah, AK-47s are definitely not being thrown in your face everywhere. But
oh no, the park you visited, you know, look, everyone was just chilling out. You was eating some melon.
Yeah,
that's one of the top videos on your profile. It didn't look like it was like heavy military presence or anything like that. Everyone was just sort of quite relaxed. I
mean, as I said, it's very security orientated. Everything's quite security. It's very, very strict and very tightly controlled. There are a lot of guns everywhere when obviously the government and that are there. But yeah, it's nothing to worry about at all. Nothing to worry about at all.
Well, I mean, it can't be too much to worry about because you keep going there and coming back.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Now you've designed a whole company.
Yeah, no, exactly. And yeah, definitely not in the business of taking people to places where something is likely to happen. We take we go through incredible lengths to make sure that, you know, everything is safe. Routes are always checked. Everything's kept up to date. The Afghanistan guys are very good at keeping on top of those types of things.
Yeah, I think we could obviously because we've just come up to an hour now, and I try not to go over an hour because I don't know quite.
Yeah, sorry,
yet.
we lingered on the Afghanistan conversation a bit. That was probably my fault, but
No, it's fine. But don't get me wrong, we don't have to end right now. What I was going to say to you is, because what we're trying to do is it's more about just telling people about the story of what people have been up to. And we could, as you've said to me as well, we could break this down into a lot more subjects about some other things, but we're not here to talk about the politics in certain places. But obviously you need to know a little bit of an element about some of the more dangerous places, and the whole point of your business is to go to these these places. But is there anything like you that you think, oh, I wish I'd asked you about that? Put you on the spot now.
No, yeah, like North Korea is always a big one, but I don't know really what I would want to know if I wasn't me, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, like we're not sort of like politically motivated really. Obviously politics, as you said, do come into it because you're going to sensitive countries, but our main thing is basically trying to keep politics separated from the people, and that's really kind of what we strive to do, as difficult as that sometimes is. I think the whole point in the whole thing is really just to go and meet people, learn about a culture, give the people a voice. You can make up your own mind afterwards, really.
Obviously there'll be different people with different opinions. One of the kickbacks is, could be like you're taking tourists over there and you're funding the governments to keep doing the sort of not so great things that they are doing. But that's not your motivation, like you just said. And I support what you're doing in the sense as I just feel like we need to open up the world a lot more. It's one planet. Keep drawing all these borders everywhere for some reason and saying you're this nationality and you're this nationality, and it's like, no, we're just all on one big rock.
Of course.
We just all look a little bit different, you know what I mean?
And when it comes to obviously money going to governments, I mean, your money unfortunately goes to things all the time that you don't necessarily want it to go to, no matter what country you visit. Of course, these countries that we're talking about are much more in the headlines. That's the only thing.
Yeah. And if you want to complain about stuff, stop buying mobile phones.
Yeah.
You're funding a whole lot of worse stuff going on there. I think your website's really informative. It's actually really smart looking.
Thank you. Yeah, it took a lot of work.
You put your prices in dollars. Why?
Mainly because it's the international currency, I guess, and also we pay in Afghanistan with dollars. Okay. But you can pay in pounds, euros, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Okay. So obviously it's easier to change. Do you get a better rate here, or would you get a better rate over there? Do you think?
What, for their currency?
Changing it up. Yeah.
Well,
wouldn't you be able to get dollars over there?
No, you'd need to get them before you go. But you can't get Afghani outside, so you would need to change it when you get there.
Oh, so you can spend US dollars there, but you can't get them.
You can. I mean, you can get them, but also the main reason of taking in US dollars is really to then change into the local currency.
I'm getting lost here now.
No, so yeah, we always advise taking obviously like hundreds of dollars, not hundreds, but $100 bills, and then when you're there, you can change them, and that's basically just for your souvenirs. And if you want to tip the guides, tip the guides.
Of any of these countries you've been to, you speak any lingo?
I used to speak quite a bit of Vietnamese, Filipino, well, Tagalog, definitely not a lot, and no, not yet. I'm pretty crap with languages, to be honest.
You speak Australian though.
I've tried to. just English with a twang, isn't it? But
well, they're not the easiest languages though, because especially in some of the like the Philippines, I believe tone is very important.
Yeah, Vietnam as well. I mean, in the Philippines, I think they have 165 dialects or something like that. So pick which one you want and
that's incredible.
Try and roll with it. But yeah.
So give us the rundown of your social medias and your website.
So it's beyondtheborderstours.com for the tour company. Beyond the Borders Tours on Instagram. My Instagram is Ant Mack, ANTMACK 94. YouTube is Ant Mack Goes, and that's about it, I think.
I'm going to tag everything on there anyway.
Yeah, I'll be sure to share it and everything as well.
And I think it would just be great in the future to when you are back in the UK.
Yeah.
You know,
see how it's going.
Yeah,
definitely. I'd appreciate. I'd do that for sure.
And obviously, because this podcast now is just going to make you blow up, and you're going to be absolutely famous. I should get a free trip.
Why not? mountain biking in Afghanistan. I just need to find
We
somewhere to
can
do
make
it.
that happen.
I'd do it if you want to
give
do it.
You know, within the next 2 years or something, I'll come out there with you, and we can start looking at.
I'll find something. I'll tell you for sure.
There's a market for that. People who ride mountain bikes and go on vacations are generally people with disposable incomes because they've all got very expensive bikes. And
the only thing I worry about is getting the bikes there.
People
if they're not
bring
available
their
there.
own.
Do they?
Oh yes. If you're going mountain biking,
That must be well expensive, isn't it?
You
Surely.
take your own
Do
bike.
you? Yeah, that's mad.
No, it's sports equipment. Depends on the company. Sometimes it's only about 50 quid or so. So
I'll keep an eye out for sure. If I see anything, I will. I'll be on the lookout now. To be fair,
there's probably people over there doing it, I reckon. So
I would imagine so.
yeah,
I would imagine so.
yeah, definitely a business in there. So
Yeah, we'll start it. That's the next one. Beyond the Borders mountain biking.
all right, let's make it happen. I don't want to give up the mountain biking just yet. So
I know you do try and keep those things going for as long as possible. I'm still hanging on to skateboarding, but it's the grip's going.
anyway, I really appreciate you coming.
I appreciate it as well. It's lovely to meet you.
Let's do it again sometime.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, bud.
Thank you very much.